Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Lauren.
And I'm Ian.
Sorry for the little delay. We had to reset the old internet.
The old router.
We're ready here now with our kettlebells off to the side, our body weight on
right
us.
Here.
We're ready to get started. We'll get into our usual swings, cleans, squats, and presses to come, but first a body weight warm up.
And for that, do quick ankle warm up and we'll get right to the floor. And watch out for those kettlebells. They tend to bite those heels pretty hard. Let's just start in that lunging foot, as per the get up here on the ball of the foot. Then just effortlessly go to the toe point, as allowed, flex over the toes and push the toes through the floor and then extend the hip back through. Repeat again, ball of foot like a lunge foot, pull to tracking center, and then the toe tip, gently ask to flex over. Ball of foot, heel down. Do that one more time, pull on the floor, point and over, and then balls of feet, hip through. Repeating again, and we'll do the same type of action with the hands in just a second from the floor. The ball of the foot and push the hip through. Like squats, we'll aim to get those knees over the toes, keep the feet heavy, and push the hips forward, cramping your glutes, engaging your core, and repeat again, knees over toes, and then push the hips through. This time, get as safe low as you can with the flat feet, and then peel up those heels to hover down. Then with or without the hands, push the hips through, adjust just a little bit, and then a chip chop on the hips, borrowing from Lauren's lexicon there, fingertips touch, callus lines next, and full hands. In this conventional wrist extension position, keep your head looking between the hands for a second, and first do your first knuckle push-up. That's calluses stay heavy, fingertips turn white, and slowly return the hands to the floor. Repeat for a couple more repetitions there. Not that we're celebrating those cracks maybe, but get a little bit of the crack out there, check in on those first knuckles, and then look forward, very slow. That's that extension on the head neck. Then do your chin tuck, pretty much the position you were in just a second ago. And then one more time, extension. Return to the middle of those ranges, looking at the thumbs, and then push the floor away and shake out the hands. Let's do a quarter turn at the hands, fingers, calluses, hands. Then push one way to go the other. So I'm pushing to the right to shift my weight left, and then push left to shift your weight to the right. Repeat for a few more times. Like when we pick up that kettlebell, we want to feel the preload. So feel tension underneath the fingertips before you push. Then with your hands or shoulders balanced over top of those wrists, do our lateral ear bend. Ear to shoulder.
Laterally bend my ear?
I don't think the ears are bending, more than neck. But the ear approaches the shoulder. Draw.
I mean, I can wiggle my ears.
Oh, that's a silly human trick there. I can't see it. I'm focusing on the floor right now.
I was asking the people.
Okay. Then use those hands and push on through. One more. Let's make fists with those knuckles and land on the index and the middle finger, so those peace sign digits. Then with one hand, open so the fingers are flush with the floor. Then keeping the elbow straight, reach the back of the hand to the ground and press through to stack. Then repeat on the other side, flexing over the wrist, keeping the elbow straight and that armpit low, just like in our kettlebell presses, and then back to stacked wrists. Repeating once more each. It does not need to be a big range, but whatever you do in the flexible range, that's the down, power, back up with strength. Last one, knuckles over and then back. Then lastly here, just look to your neighbor or over a shoulder in a rotation, and then through the middle and rotate again. Sets of twos here. Check in on that head neck. How are the wrists doing too? And then I'll finish looking in the middle. I'll finish pushing my fingers away and a shake. One more thing for me from this tall kneel position, gently getting in touch with those shoulders, starting with the palms forward. Elevate the shoulders and then pull down. Retract the shoulder blades, round forward, and then finish in retraction. And then making sure we don't hit our training partner, move the arms out towards the side in the T. And in that T shape, same effort. Elevate the shoulders and pull the shoulders down, and then round the shoulders forward and pull the shoulders back together. Then keeping those armpits low, bring the arms towards either a Y or even an I shape overhead. And same effort here to elevate the shoulders in a shrug, pull down, round forward and protract scoop, retract, and then let's just start a nice little groove here as we'll press kettlebells overhead, returning to that rack position. Easy does it, extend the elbows and shake. And over to Lauren for a quick extra warm up for those hips.
Excellent. Let's step right into that lunge position from here because that's how we get up and down. So from that lunge position, our front leg is in front with a vertical shin and our back hip is lightly tucked under. Let's go right away into pulling on that front leg and drifting knee towards over a toe. Extended back hip, and then push the floor forward, sending yourself back up to tall. From there, heel toe that leg open to the side. And same idea, push down with that leg, feel those inside muscles as you drift knee towards over a toe. And then press yourself back up to tally tall. Heel toe that foot to the center, bring it underneath you, and we'll repeat on the other side. Knee to the front. Tucking that back hip, squeezing the back cheek, gently drifting knee towards over the toe. And then send yourself back up to tall, tall, tall. Heel toe opens to the side, shoulders stay stacked over hips. Push down in that side leg. Feel the muscles as you pull yourself over. Give them a go. Holla, holla.
Hey, how are you?
And then heel toe back to center. Leg comes underneath. Let's work our way up to standing via our hinge. And then grab a bell and get a grip. Hands come down on the floor. Let's first fire up the core by hovering our knees up off the floor. With our knees just hovered off the floor, you have a bowl of fancy water on your back you don't want to spill. Without spilling that water, could you lift a foot just off the floor for 3, 2, place it back down, other foot. Lift, hold, 3, 2, place it back down. Maybe try your foot again, or could you lift a hand without twisting for 3, 2, and back down. And your other hand for 3, 2, and back down. Now with the tailbone leading towards the ceiling, lift the hips. Just straighten those knees for a second, keeping that anterior tip in the hips or tailbone to ceiling. Then bend your knees, walk your hands back so you're in a hinge, and gently press through to tall.
To tall.
Adjust as you need to. We're going to grab our first kettlebell to warm up some heavy holds and, some squat mobility. You know those hairs? You know them if you know them.
You know them if you know them.
All right, so starting first with a heavy suitcase carry. And by heavy, I mean I have a medium bell for myself here. Hip hinge. Grip bell with one hand, shoulders are square to the floor. Pack your shoulder, brace your abs, lift. Bring the bell to the side of your body like you're going on an awesome trip and holding your suitcase. Lightly elevate, retract that shoulder. Check in, toes are gripping the floor. Weights even in both feet. Abs are braced. If you were lazy, you'd be leaning towards that belly, but you're not lazy, so stay up tall here. Breathe underneath that shield. Stay square for 3, 2, bell comes in front, both hips hinge, shoulders square, up without. Same thing, second side. Hip hinge, grip bell, pack shoulder, hop, hop, step, hold. Blade elevated, retracted. Weight even. Squeeze the cheeks, brace the abs, stay up nice and tall, heads on straight, heads looking forward, shins lightly tucked, no text neck here. You did that all day, don't do it now. For 3, 2, bring it in front, square up your shoulders as you hinge, place the bell down, stand up with it. We'll hold it in rack next, but until then, squat mobility.
Lauren said it's time in a moment to clean, squat, and press. So let's get into your squat stance. Probably slightly wider than your swing and slightly turned out. From this position, let's just pull ourselves down, aiming to get the buttocks slightly lower than those knees.
The buttocks.
Stay heavy on the index or the big toe side of your feet, as well as those pinkies. Then press away from center to push up nice and tall. Let's repeat that again as you pull down. Lauren's hands again are in that racking position or goblet hold. Let's get into that. And again, squeeze your rhomboids or those back muscles together to support the load, or even just those bare hands in front. Core brace and push through. We'll do one more squat in a second. Let's maybe fire up one more carry there. I think Lauren said it was called the rack.
All right, we're into our rack position and we're gonna get there with our chi clean. We'll be pressing shortly. So hip hinge, grip 1, grip 2, pull to zip up your jacket, rack hold. In this rack position, we have a nice vertical forearm. Our bell is resting on our forearm and our wrist is nice and straight. As we stand here, we feel a strong foundation that we could eventually press out of. 5 more seconds. Shield, cheeks, feet. 3, 2, use your hinge. Park your bell between your feet. Stand up without. Same thing, second side. Hip hinge, grip, pull, rack. When we pull to that rack position, we pull our hand through our bell. We get that nice vertical position. We think about pressing. We have the strong foundation. And you notice how I was shifted over there, so I pulled myself back underneath that bell. For 5, 4, 3, and park.
There we go. One more time in a squat, just a little bit more dynamic here. So make sure you have a little bit of space and find that squat stance. We'll progress through quick balances, open up those hips, come in handy for squats, as well as those get-ups that will finish today's practice. So we'll pull ourselves down, hands in tight, or just wherever feels nice and balanced. Then stand up and just pull those feet together. Then open up and pull yourself down again. And then whoop, feet together. Again, we'll sit low in our squat. This time find a single leg base of support. And then land and enjoy those challenges within. Woo. Make sure you don't hit your partner again. And then one more time here. Let's stand tall, climb just a little bit, perhaps extend that knee and land in the middle. And one last time, find our balance, climb, point, navigate your surroundings, and come up. I love that Chico squat. Always feels good on those hips.
All right.
So
we are going to warm up our presses here, combined with preparing ourselves for some swings and some cleans. So what we are going to do, personally, is we're going to take our heavier bell now and do some low reps with a heavier bell presses, and then we're going to bell down for a little combo set to come. So whatever bell you choose, stand over top of it, and let's start with 1 press from that rack position. So over top of your bell, hip hinge, grip bell, pull to rack, 1 press, and then pull the bell down and park with control. This doesn't mean you have to use a heavy bell. You can use whatever bell is feeling right today. Hip hinge, second side, grip, rack, press, pull bell down, park, and shake it out. In between there, we'll start by warming up our single arm swing.
excellent.
So standing behind your belt, Ian will go first here. Let's do a little routine. We're going to do 2 hike passes, 2 stop swings, 3 continuous. Here we go. Hike pass to zipper, park. To zipper, park. Pull, swing, through, park. This is a stop. Do that one more time. Pull, swing, through, stop. Next time, 3 continuous. 1, abs at the top and butts. 2, tight core like we practiced in that bear, park bell. I go.
2, 2, 3. It's the stop. On the stop, we're aiming to keep the quiet upper body and find the ballistic power on the hips on the next successive swing. So that's 2 stops, 2 hikes, and now 3 continuous swings. Lauren's pace was great. My words weren't really timed well with that, but take your time in between sets to figure out where you're pulling from and to stay stable.
Team Ian, second arm, 2 hikes, pull to that zipper. So we're keeping that lat engaged as we pull. Then lat, hips, through, park. Repeat again at the top, punches in the abs and the butts. It's your core that stops you at the top, not that back extension. Through, park. Second side, Team Lauren.
That's a tight sounding core there, Lauren. So engage those core muscles. There's high tension in that movement, then exceptionally high tension at the top when the kettlebell is floating out front. 3 now for the continuous swing. Feel that rhythm, work on the timing, and stay as tall as you can for as long as you can, and then integrate that hip hinge. Back to the press.
We're back to that press. We have 2 more rounds of heavy presses. Sorry, I just need to catch my breath before we press. Cardio. All right, let's try for 2.
Un, deux, trois.
2 presses.
Do it.
Hip hinge, grip, pull to rack. Inhale. 1, inhale down. 2, inhale down. Park bell. Make sure you're using that breath to help you not oppose you. So we're pressing off that strong base, using that little hop, 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 hop. It's not really little, it's huge. Here we go. Second side, hip hinge. Hop. 1, inhale down. 2, and back to that rack position. Whew. So we warmed up those single arm swings.
Then we'll be doing the same thing for the clean. But this time, let's just omit that hike pass and go right to 2 repetitions of a stop clean. And pause there. And then return it to the floor. Do that again for just that second in a row. And then if 3 is that magic number, let's do 3 continuous swings.
Clean.
Let's go cleans from the rack to the hike pass, the rack, the hike pass, and then the floor on that 3rd rep. Let's switch teams here and do the same thing.
So team Ian, start with 2 stop cleans. Pull to zipper, punch the bell through to that rack, and park. Biggest thing with cleans here is imagining you're in a tight alleyway where there's a wall in front of you. If you have that wall in front of you, you'll keep the bell tighter to your body, therefore getting less bounce and ouch on your arm.
That's right. Perhaps even set up with the bell on the side that you're cleaning to. So just slightly to the left of Lauren's side of the body if we're using that left arm. That's 2 of the stops. Those continuous 3 now. Rack, hike, pass. Rack, hike, pass for that 3rd time, and then return to the floor. You can almost hear that kettlebell jump in Lauren's hand. It's a really good sign that we're not over gripping the bell. Prevent those rips and tears on the
All right,
hands.
team Ian, you have to go now. So same thing, other side. Also thinking that is clean is just a single arm swing, but it ends in that rack position. So don't forget to continue using your hips as you do that. Don't lose that hinge through this last clean here. Park, and then we have 1 more round of presses here.
Whew.
If your number is 3 is great. If your number is not 3, that's also great. Pick your number, 1 last set with this heavy bell, and then we're getting into combo time. And it's not a taco combo.
Not yet, but it is Tuesday, so maybe.
Hip hinge, grip, pull to rack. 1, 2, 3. It's a big bell.
Yeah.
Take a breath.
Some days it does feel heavier than others. So check in.
It's
If
just
you're not
heavy.
hitting those reps that you want, scale back on that bell size. Take time. Or even holding that rack position or the suitcase can help build the strength necessary for that next rep.
Same thing, second side. 1. And bell down. Great. So, as you can tell here, after placing that bell down, I've switched back to a slightly lighter bell. Last week we did the same combo, but we did different rep scheme. Today we're adding more reps. So the combo is, dun, 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 is, we need 2, don't worry about it. The combo is clean, twice, clean, clean, squat, squat, press, press. Okay, we'll start with the number 2s on each side, then we'll do 3s on each side. We'll work up to 5s on each side.
Nice.
We'll take it from there. We're doing our I go, you go fashion, meaning I'll go first, start with my whatever arm, do that. Ian will do his arm. I'll go to my second arm, Ian his second arm.
So this is a rep scheme shared with us by Mike Sousa at our Strong First certification. And 2 + 3 = 5 on that last repetition set. So 2 cleans for Team Lauren. That's 1 of now 2 squats. And as you can see there with Lauren, maybe adjusting your feet. Your squat, your swing, and your press might be different foot placements. Take care and make those changes if you need.
So Team Ian
2s.
here, same pattern. 2 cleans to that rack position. Still using your hips, hips drive forward to clean that bell. 2 squats, adjust your stance as needed. Noticing when you go to your press here, it's a distinct different move. We're not doing a push press. You stand up out of your squat and then you press. Adjust your stance, through park, second side.
Shaking out in between, but practicing high tension if you're in your clean. That's 2 cleans for Team Lauren. Follow that by our 2 squats. Then adjust as you need. Hi-ya. And Lauren's fist of fury out to the side there for 2 presses and return to the floor. And we're gonna go before she says, it's time to go there, Team Ian.
It's time to go, Ian.
Oh, just about
Missed
beat it.
So 2 again, second side here. As we're resting, we had a lot of tension in that practice there. So we're trying to take some time and let those muscles recover before we have to do it again. So stay loose, loose arms, loose wrists, loose forearms. Let those quads jiggle about,
Nice.
wiggle out the cheeks. And now it's round 2. So it's 3s of everything, same pattern.
I go, you go. So we get to rest, and it's 3 cleans for that Lauren and her team. So after 3, perhaps adjust your stance and squats. On the squats, keep the elbow in tight to the body because you're using your rhomboids and lats at the back. And for the press, those rhomboids and lats are also being pulled down to avoid the shoulder shrug. That's 3. Now 3 for us.
We're trying to breathe in and out our nose. Catch your breath in between. Stay loose. Team Ian, 3 squats here. Ideally, when you're squatting, that elbow is staying fairly in tight. Avoid chicken winging it out to the side. Keep it in as vertical as you can. 3 presses here. We're mentally preparing for 3 on that second side. Here we go.
So firm grip, but as well, have flexibility in that grip to catch it completely in that rack. Slight adjustment to the stance for the squat. A breath in down or a breath in at the top. But no matter what, fill the core with air or pressure to stay strong and tight. That's 3 presses already. That team, Lauren, looking great. And then that means it's our second time for the same number.
You're picking the spell up and putting it down with control. So it's all part from the setup to the time you place your bell down is part of the whole drill. Make sure you take time on either side here. And 1 more squat and 3 presses. Is anyone thinking about their set of 5s? Because I am right now, mentally preparing here. So when Ian puts his bell down, he's gonna stand up tall and then shake it off. Stand up. I want you to avoid putting it down and standing up and walking away at the same time. I finished it.
Finish it like it's easy, and then give yourself the freedom to shake it out. We know it's not easy. We hope it's appropriate. Find the Goldilocks number of reps, sets, and even that weight for you to be strong. 5. Whew, that went by quick, Lauren. I know my play wouldn't feel quick to you. Now we're on 5 squats. Looking great. Those hips push forward. The rib cage again stays down, avoiding the flare or that low back bend. For 3 presses, then if you get 3, that means you have 2 more for 5.
4.
4. Yep. And 5. Excellent. The benefit of 5 is you get more rest. So let's get it going.
5 for Team Ian here. Still keeping that grip light on your cleans as you punch through. Still making that hip drive through. If 5 is too many, do less than 5. You don't need to do that high reps if you're failing or if it's starting to look not as good as rep number 1. Keep that breath, have that core tension and power as you press down to stand up out of your squat. That off arm tension as you get tired is going to come in handy here as you use that tension to press your bell overhead. You also have power in your cheeks. You also have power in your abs. Use it as you finish those presses. Second side.
Those 5th reps, they were a little harder than usual, but that's okay. Still felt pretty strong, but always give yourself the opportunity to check in with your wiggles and check in by slowing down the breath if you're recovering, but timing your breath with your movement if you're working hard with Lauren. 2, this is 3, means there's 2 more to go. But again, as Lauren said, choose your own rep scheme at the same time. But in this case, we're trying to find something low, medium, and high. 1, 2, 3. In our case, it's 2, 3, and 5 total overhead presses with that 16 kilogram bell, if you're Lauren. 5 and 5 and 5. Let's do it again, though.
Covering in and out the nose, shaking out. Take your time. It's okay to be a little winded. It's kettlebell cardio for you right there. Breathing Still remembering all the rules of the game. You're pulling yourself down into that squat. You're pushing down and away to stand up tall. You're still extending your hips all the way through at the top. Adjusting to press, rooting the feet, pulling the kneecaps up for tension, squeezing the butt cheeks for tension, pressing off a strong core. Last one or two, I've been chatting. And then parking that bell.
Awesome.
Nice.
Ooh, nice. Yeah.
Bring it back down.
So we'll bring it back down. So it's not truly a ladder. Maybe it is more of a pyramid here. But we're working on now a set of 3, or your number at your discretion. And after that 3 repetitions of the clean, up to the same number of squats. It's okay to be winded. Breathe in slow, out slower. Increase the absorption of the oxygen, and give yourself that opportunity to say, hey, this is okay.
Go time. Team me in 3s here. We're taking a little break. How is it feeling? Harder? Easier? I could do more, but this is good. I like that feeling. I could do more, but this is enough. That's the boundary zone I like to play in most of the time. Take your time as you finish up this round 4, but with 3s. Here we go, second side.
Which arm did you do first? I did my dominant arm today. Sometimes though, it's nice to mix it up and do that non-dominant side. Just making sure that the other side can keep up to the power you have on the other, or the one. You get what I mean? Strong and stronger side. But this is our press, and that's already 2 and 3. I'm doing it again. Time that breath with your move.
3, punching through that bell. Still keeping those hips driving forward. As we get tired, we start to get that twist. Avoid that. Pull down, push down and away to tall. Core is still braced. Good. And last set of this round of 3 presses. 3 is less than 5, which makes it feel nice and easy, or at least less. And we have 1 more round here. 2s on each side.
Upsies and downsies here. So we're back to that number 2. And how is it going? Did you drop your bell? The load being the 16 to maybe the 12 kilogram or similar. Avoid dropping the bell. If you're ever at that point in your practice, it might just be a nice day to lay on the floor.
Like literally dropping it?
Yeah. Avoid dropping that bell.
No, you never should drop a kettlebell.
Avoid dropping the bell.
Bells have feelings
2s.
too. They might be hard like metal, but they don't want to be dropped. Always putting that bell down with control. 2s on this first side of your last round. Finishing nice and strong, and as if you could do more, but you don't need to.
I think I do satisfy that. I could do more, but again, it's just nice to be in that. I could do it for another time. And that way we stay inspired maybe to do it that extra time. That is 2 already. Oh my goodness, 2 squats as well. Final set of 2 presses. Isn't it so nice to do 2s once you've done 5s? I think so.
Last round here. Finishing up that set there. Take your time. 2s. 2s does go by quicker than 5. I wonder why. Finish with strength here. Driving through that pinky side and pulling the bell down with control. Parking it, taking a couple seconds off, shaking it out, clearing your space a bit, maybe grabbing a sip of water. And now we're going to finish with 4 get-ups.
Excellent.
What? May the force be with you.
No.
Isn't that the right one? Live long and prosper.
No, there we go.
Sorry,
there we
everyone.
Go. Get your Comic-Con there,
Sorry,
right there.
my apologies.
Onlin.
What I'd like to do is I'd like to challenge you to do 2 in a row on one side and then 2 in a row on the other side. So say 2 on your left side, up, down, 2 on your right side, up, down. If that does not float your boat or seem like something that would be a smart thing for you to do right now, maybe you choose to do 1 on each side, followed by 1 on each side, or singles, or body weight, or watch, whatever it is you choose.
Choose your own adventure, I guess, is the moral of the story. And
Come
for
on
me,
down.
I started with that heavy weight, went to my light one, and here I am going to finish with a heavy bell. That time under tension piece, a good old-fashioned favorite. So catching up to Lauren, it's a cuddle roll and a press. We drive the hip. We sit tall. It's a bridge and a sweep. Press the floor away. Square up the lunge. Tall stand. Return in reverse. Lunge. Windmill. Hinge. Stack and sweep the leg. Find the elbow. Return to your back. Repeating again. Drive. Even that second rep could be barehanded, as Lauren said, or just a half rep. But through that halfway place, we're standing up tall in the lunge and then reversing one last time. Windmill, hinge, accept the floor with the hand. Sweep the leg, tall sit, elbow to the back. 2 hands and down.
All right, that was 2 in a row. We have our last 2 reps here today for 4 total get-ups after all of that loaded combo.
Excellent.
Start with the cuddle, roll, and press. Use your hip drive to pull on that elbow, squishing the bug, bridging, and sweeping. We get to that lunge position we warmed up earlier today. And then on your descent, think about pulling the legs together using that scissor. As we hinge, putting the hands down, fingers backwards to keep the elbow straight as we sweep to our back. Let's repeat. Again, sorry, you guys go ahead. My mic is just flipping over to the elbow, to the hand. Bridge sweep. Press to tall. And standing up. Controlling that back down through the lunge, the windmill rotation, the sweep. Elbow and press away from your elbow. Controlling the belt towards the floor. Placing it down. Let's come to standing any way you'd like. Closing the mouth, breathing in through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Let's repeat that again. In through the nose. And out through the nose. Now with rules. Into the nose. And out. Filling that belly. Here we go again. In. Hold your breath. Exhale. Repeat again. In. Hold. Exhale. Hold. In. Hold. In more. Hold. Exhale. Hold. We're going to do one more round. In. Hold. In. Hold. Exhale. Hold. And relax. Try to return your breath to normal.
Normal. What is normal?
Well,
Normal is joining us on Tuesdays at 4 o'clock or shortly after if technical difficulties persist to join us at our kettlebell practice. Our week of normal continues on Thursdays with our bar and Saturdays with our play with your strength, body weight pursuits. We hope that you enjoyed today's practice and join us later this week live or in the archive.
Until then, check out our website, check out our Patreon page.
Sign up for our newsletter.
Sign up for our newsletter. Take care, stay strong,
Amazing.
and we'll train soon.
Take care. Have a good day.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.